Welcome back. This is the beginning of week 3. I know I might be a little late with the upload, but this is week 3 of my Spooktacular 2020. Day 15. A nasty piece of work. I found this on Hulu. It's part of their Into the Dark series. It's basically an anthology of horror movies that all pertain to a certain holiday. Well, I picked Christmas because it's Halloween and fuck you. This basically tells the story of a guy who works at an equity firm. He's really trying hard to win the boss's favor, but there's, of course, the kiss ass, guy that's always a little better than him. Actually has the same job as him. And, just, he basically what I'm getting at, he fails to kiss ass as well as the other guy. Well, they're having their, annual Christmas party. They're waiting to see if they get bonuses this year. And, of course, the boss, he says no. Basically, we'll just try harder next year. Well, that pisses the main guy off, Kyle Howard. He's going to go, I guess, fuck his boss up while he's outside smoking or push him off the ledge. I really wasn't sure which. But before he can do anything, his boss turns around and is like, hey, I value you as an employee. I want you to come to my house for a Christmas dinner after the work party. And it blows the main character away. He's like, oh, shit, I've got to go. I have to go. Well, he shows, and he's kind of wondering, like, when he gets there, he's like, where's all the other people? Where's all the other cars? Because it's just his car and, really no other ones around. Well, workplace rival shows up and it's like, what's up, douchebag? What are you doing here? And they go inside and they're just like, where's everyone? They're like, oh, we only invited you two. And basically what ensues is a game. Their boss is like, look, we're going to liquidate both of your job titles, and we're going to combine it into one job, one salary. And they're like, yeah, you're basically going to compete throughout the night, and we're going to, see who gets to go home with a job and who gets to go home, jobless. And basically what plays out through the night, the boss is kind of playing mind games, him and his wife, and they really get under the, their employee's skin. Because, like, right off the bat, the wife, you're led to believe is kind of a lush, and, hates her husband, cheats on him, whatever. She's getting real touchy-feely with the men, the only other two men there that aren't her husband. And at one point, she, tries to get a hold of, I'm doing this, actually, I don't know if you can see, get a hold of the main character, and, her husband, their boss, everyone's boss, freaks the fuck out, calls her a vile slut or something, pulls an antique rifle from World War I off the wall, aims it at his wife, and she's like, oh, you're not going to pull the fucking trigger, turns her back on him, he blows the back of her head out, and they're just like, everyone's like, oh, shit, like, what the fuck is going on? And then the boss is like, oh my god, what should I do? Kyle, what do you think I should do? And then basically just goes around the room asking both employees, what should I do? And the kiss ass, the asshole, he's basically like, oh, I'll help you cut her up. Where the other employee, the more level-headed one, the main character, is just like, oh my god, like, we've got to get our alibi straight. We need to go home. We need to get out of here, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's like, oh my god, okay, well, one of you at least check to see if she's alive. And the asshole bends down, of course, jumping at the first opportunity he can do to please his boss, goes down there to check the wife's pulse. She jumps up and kisses him, laughing. Everyone's freaked out, and they basically figure out that his wife had like a blood squib in her hair. She had her hair all done up, and just had a little blood squib hidden back there, and he was firing blanks out of the rifle. Well, it kind of sets the tone, like, they're not fucking around. They kind of are fucking around, but they just want to kind of mess with them and see, really see the real them to determine who gets the job. And I'm not gonna spoil any more of this, because I think everyone should go watch this. If you have Hulu, check it out. If not, go get Hulu and check it out. Or find somebody that has Hulu, like I did. Alright, well, bye! Day 16. Clown of the Dead. Are you afraid of clowns? I'm not afraid of clowns. But a lot of people are, and I got a little burnout. Trying to figure. I've been watching a lot of horror movies. Is what I'm trying to say. So I was like, I want to pick something I don't normally watch, or like a genre of horror. So I got on Tubi, and I was like, well, okay, let's see what else I can find. So I delved a little deeper, and I got into the international section, and I ran across this movie, and the poster, or the little box art thing, it looked kind of promising. It turned out this is an Indonesian clown horror movie, and it's pretty well done. I don't know. It wasn't for me, but it was not a bad movie. It was, and you I don't know, some of the dialogue I was, granted, I'm not gonna show them the dialogue. It was the dubbing that I watched, because there's a few little kid characters in this, and they just didn't get kids to do it. They just took another actor and fucked with the pitch of their voice, and some of the little kids in this sound so weird. But basically, this tells the story of the three main characters are these college roommates living in this big apartment complex, and there's also a bunch of little kids that live there, and there's 4 or 5 of them. They're all in their, have a little gang, run around, do shit. Well, they decide to sneak into the old, the abandoned amusement park that was close by, and they find a music box, or they just find a box, and they're like, oh, we don't know what this does, so let's take it to our, these kids in college. They're smart, and then you get to meet the 3 main characters. And they're like, well, I don't know. And they take a knife and they crack it open, and it's a music box. Well, it's a little more than a music box. I guess it's cursed. All I could think of, it was a Dybbuk box. Yeah, they didn't call it that, but it was a Dybbuk box. But instead of a demon, it was the soul of a killer clown. And, yeah, I don't really want to spoil a lot of this movie. But basically, them opening the box has released an evil spirit on this big apartment complex, and several people die in this movie, and none of them are above the age of, I don't know, 7. You don't really get to see, I think a few of them die off screen. One jumps off a building, but the best kill, I think, was the mother was like, oh, I was going to get a present for my daughter, or and she was going to buy her a puppy. And she's like, wait in the car, I'm going to go across the street and get it. Well, she gets excited, and something lures her out of the car, and it's more than just the puppy. And you get to see this little girl get creamed by not a bus, like a garbage truck or something. I don't know. It's not gory. They don't show the body. You just the initial impact. I was just like, oh shit! Final Destination couldn't pull it off, and they tried several times. I was pretty shook by this. I don't know if it's because I was a little kid, but it's not just child slaying. There's this movie kind of focuses a little on the roommates. And their parts are pretty funny. The horror is so-so in it. I liked it. It's not a bad movie, but just really not what I was looking for. And I fucked up, and I tried again, and I thought, oh, I'll try another clown movie. Well, I'm going to tell you about it here in a sec. Day 17... Him, or The Devil's Warehouse, depending on, I don't know, fuck it. That's kind of how I felt this whole movie. Just, fuck it. 3 minutes in, no, I didn't want to watch it, but I did. My God, this movie it just failed in a lot of different categories. Writing, shit. Acting, kind of shit. Effects, shit. Except for one. There was one really neat effect in this movie. But, like, I, I watched this movie. I know I did. I didn't sleep through it. It's so disjointed. Like, it starts out with, like, it's very low budget. And I get it. I don't know. Some people can pull low budget off. Some people can't. The people that did this movie, they tried. That's all I can say. They fucking tried, at least. But yeah, it starts out with a dude who owns a warehouse. Older man. He's like, oh, I'm having the nightmares again. Fuck, I gotta go to work. Or something. But he owns this warehouse where they do something. I don't know. They don't really talk about it. All I know is it's fucking haunted. And he's talking, the owner's like talking to his foreman, and it's just like, you know, I don't want to sacrifice the kids no more. Like, you know, just casual as fuck. Like, damn, we got to stop the sacrificing today, man. This isn't good. Well, yeah, they're sacrificing kids casually in the back, and the place is haunted. People don't want to work there. Random ghost people show up and start talking shit. They're like, oh, well, you know, you got to keep giving us souls and stuff. You know, you wanted this sweet, huge fucking warehouse. Like, you owe us, like, I don't know what the trade rate is for souls versus, or like, how many souls do you need to own a fucking warehouse? I mean, my God. And why are demons even fucking with warehouses? Like, demons shouldn't be in construction, I don't think. I mean, unless somebody can tell me different. But yeah, like, you basically, you've got a haunted warehouse and a guy that's killing people in it. And then the movie cuts to scantily clad women, and this chick is, like, coming off the beach, you know, in her bikini, notices something in the sand, picks it up. It's a Ouija board and a planchette, and she's like, oh, shit, you know, cool. Goes home, all the cabinets are open immediately in her condo. And she's just like, weird. Closed all the doors, shut everything up. You know, waited for her friend to come, got jump scared, and they're like, let's play with the Ouija. And her friend's just like, you know, this is evil, right? You can't fuck with the forces of evil, but I'll play it with you. And then, like, all of her doors and cabinets are open when she gets home. And they're just like, oh, that's mildly spooky. Let's shut everything up. And, yeah, then it cuts to them like, oh, you've got to get rid of the Ouija board. So she does. They go out and play on the beach. And then they're like, on the shore, kicking water at each other. And then one of them's like, huh? Bends over and finds the fucking, the Ouija board has been buried in the sand right where they were standing. And they, of course, freak out and scream. Then the movie cuts back to the warehouse. There's, like, weird time jumps. I think at one point it's, like, 6 weeks later. Fucking, then, like, a couple minutes later, it's, like, 12 months later. 7 months before that. And the two girls that found the Ouija board, they also do a Charlie incantation, if anyone knows what that means. Yeah, they did that too. And then they hook up with, like, paranormal investigators, and they're like, oh, we know a place to go, and this is, like, older guy and a bunch of these teens. Let's go to this warehouse, and it's the same haunted warehouse as before, and guess what? People just start disappearing. People start dying off camera. This movie's only, like, hour 20 minutes. Like, 40 minutes in, and you don't even get a clown, because if you forgot, I watched this movie, I don't even know if I fucking mentioned it. I might have mentioned it a second ago in the previous segment, but, I watched this movie because there's a fucking wicked-looking clown on the cover, and, yeah, like, I don't know, that clown doesn't show up till, like, 45 minutes into this, maybe 50. I don't know. I don't think they really cared, but I don't know. People just start dying, and they keep splitting up. They split up. Somebody dies. They all meet back up, and they're like, "Oh shit, what happened to that person? Oh, they died. Where's their body? Disappeared into the mist." I think the one, like the big tough guy in the group, he's like convinced the main paranormal investigator just keeps killing his partners every time they split up. He's just like, I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. You want some of this? You keep killing my friends, but keep letting you walk off with them. And yeah, this movie fucking blew. A clown does show up eventually and starts like hugging people and pulling them into the dark, or not even the darkness, into the mist. This movie just hurt my fucking head. Because, like, even some of the dialogue is so painful, and you can tell this is, like, a lot of people's first day on a movie set, or being recorded, or having to say lines, or anything. So, I mean, I'm not dogging them real bad, because I'm not a fucking actor. They've got a credit, but it ain't a good one. But yeah, like, more than a few characters, they describe it. They're like, we can't go home. We're here to find the paranormal of this place. And I thought, what? I usually watch movies with subtitles. I thought, wait, how did she say that? Ran it back. I was like, that was weird. Maybe that was just like a fluke. Then they do it like 4 or 5 more times. Like, are you afraid of the paranormal here? The paranormals? Like, I don't know. Like, the wording in this, I don't know. It kind of hurt my head. But, yeah. Don't watch this movie because I couldn't even decide on a fucking title. Day 18. The Dark Red. This was a good movie. After watching several not so good movies in a row, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. Again, this is one I don't really want to get into too deep. On the surface, it had a pretty neat story. Not one I was really expecting, really at all. And as much as I hate to do this, I'm not going to get into the latter half of the movie. Basically, the movie starts. The movie starts, and a social worker stumbles across his home. Well, not really stumbles. I guess that was her. She was supposed to go check in on him. She goes and checks. There's no answer to this trailer, or like a mobile home, whatever. So she goes in, finds the mother, passed out, dead. Well, she's dead. The mother's dead. She can't be passed out dead. She's straight up dead. Looks like she's been dead for a few days. Not very long. And she kind of is looking around, sees everything's a mess, sees there's a bunch of paintings and like little doodles done by a little kid, all stained in red. Looks like it's red Kool-Aid the kid was drawing with, or painting, or whatever the fuck the little kid was doing. Either way, she goes and finds this, I don't know, like a 4-year-old hidden. I guess she's been sleeping in a crate or a chest or something. Either way, she gets around and says, "Look, I'll take care of you." Then the movie flash forwards to that girl, to the little girl. She's all grown up and she's in a mental institution, and she's talking to a doctor, being interviewed by a doctor essentially. And she's like, "Yeah, my kid was taken from me 10 days ago. I need to get it back. I'm not crazy, not schizophrenic." And the doctor, of course, doesn't believe her. And then she goes and kind of gives a little backstory to herself, like that social worker that initially saved her. I guess she saw her as an adopted mother. And there was also another doctor who worked with her and, got her through the childhood trauma that she had to experience. And long story short, the lady, her adopted mother, she dies, and at the funeral, she meets somebody approaches her at the end of it after everyone's left and is like, "Hey, look, me and my family, we donated a lot of money to what your mother does, to that line of work, and we wanted to extend our condolences." Well, they end up talking, and next thing you know, they're in bed with each other. Of course, the main character's upset, so she, I guess, found comfort with another human, and they end up pregnant right off the bat. Like, had sex one time, pregnant. And then she's like, oh shit, I gotta tell him. She's like, oh, then I've gotta tell him I'm also, kind of schizophrenic and I've got a lot of mental issues. And then she proceeds to tell him her real secret. Her real secret is she can read minds. And you would think he'd be like, whoa, shit, I'm gonna leave. He's intrigued. Intrigued enough to where he's like, hey, let's go on a bus and let's try this shit out. And they do, and he's like, oh, damn, like, either she's just making the shit up or, holy shit. Because, of course, I'm not going to go into what she reads from said person's mind, the test subject. And, of course, it's something bad, and she's not going to admit to another stranger what it is. So, he's kind of like, well, damn, even though she didn't tell me, I'm pretty much inclined to believe that she can read minds. Well, get a little forward in time. She's been pregnant for several months. Then she confronts him about, I answered your phone one day, and it was your mom. You've never mentioned your family to me before. You haven't even told your family about me. So that leads to a big fight, and then she's basically like, hey, let me go meet your family. And he's really against it. He's like, I don't want you to meet him. I don't want you to meet him. And then they go meet him. And then things go fucking south. And the whole time the movie's interspliced with scenes of her talking to the physician, going through their little sessions, giving a more backstory. And then, like, basically the family's really, really friendly. They live out in this big-ass house out in the middle of the woods. And, yeah. They basically get her in there, and they're like, oh, he's told us all about you. She's like, oh, really? He's like, and the mother is like, yeah. He's even told us your secret. And she's like, oh, ha, ha. What'd you tell him? I'm crazy? And they're like, no, we believe in the mind reading. And that's where I'm going to stop this review because I'm actually at the time limit. And I don't want to spoil the rest of the movie because holy shit, the rest of this movie is really, really, really fucking good. Now, this is the dark. Check my notes. This is The Dark Red from 2018. Go check it out. I think Fletcher found it in Redbox. Not sure, but either way, look it up, buy it, rent it, do whatever. Check it out.